And today we're going to talk about balance while we're walking. So as we grow older, some people find that they're losing their balance more when they're walking, and this could lead to falls and sprains and maybe broken bones or hip replacements. Actually, speaking from my own knowledge, I had problems walking when I was younger. Ever feel clumsy or trip over your own 2 feet? Well, if you have this problem, maybe you didn't have it before, or maybe you've always been a little clumsy, it might just be that the way that you are walking is not optimal for your alignment, for your bone and joint health, and as a result, it's going to have bone deterioration, more joint pain, and cause more falls as you age. So today, I'm going to share with you a yoga sequence that is going to help you have more balance when you're walking, and we're going to practice walking in a brand new way that you've probably never experienced before. It will leave you feeling light and balanced when you're walking in your everyday activities. Now, the movements that we're going to do are in the Bowspring alignment, and if you're not familiar with that, it is a body and mind alignment system where we retrain and rewire every single movement in our body, including walking. So, as you imagine, it took you a while to learn how to walk. You didn't just stand up when you were a year old and start walking around. You fell down a couple times. So it might take a little while to relearn how to walk. Be patient with yourself. Bowspring takes a lot of practice and training, but I guarantee you will like the results if you keep it up, and you are worth it. So to start with, we're going to actually lift our rib cage. We're going to practice expanding the sides and the ribs, because when the upper half of the body is lighter, everything down below is lighter and more balanced as well. So we'll start with a regular standing position, which we call earth pose. And I'm going to bring most of the body weight to the front part of the feet, which we call the paws. The paw of the foot, like the paw of an animal. You can think of yourself as more animal now. And make sure your feet are parallel with each other. You'll have a greater advantage that way if you look at your feet. A lot of times, people start to turn out, and they turn out when they're standing. This might be habitual for you, and they turn out when they're walking. And that turnout is going to be less advantageous if you want to maintain hip health and more balance. So start to pay more attention to the alignment of your feet in your stepping and your standing. So we're going to stand with equal feet, body weight more in the front parts of the feet, and then put a little bend behind your knees. In the Bowspring, we're always going to have a little bit of a bend in the leg. Yes, and I'm going to shut this blind real quick because live video. Yeah, maybe I'll cut this part later because there's a glare. Boom, that did it. Almost. It is fall. There we go. You never know what it's going to be like. All right, back to business. Earth pose. So feet are equal. Body weight more in the front part of the feet, and like I said, there's a bend in the back of the legs in Bowspring. The hips are going to be behind the ribs, so the most behind part of you, and the belly is going to be long. Make your arms straight, but have your elbows pointing outward. Squeeze the base of your palms and let your fingers curl, and then open your chin. Close your eyes, and you can test your springiness and mobility with a little bounce, making sure you're not locked out anywhere. And then start meditating on your breath. Imagine each breath in fills you with a lightness that lifts the rib cage and the head away. Each breath out maintains that lightness. As you breathe, the rib cage gets bigger and lifts higher, and you may feel even lighter in your feet. Take one more full breath in and out, maintaining the breath. Blink, open your eyes, and then float your arms to the level of the horizon. Maintain that squeezing of the palm, knuckles down. Keep your eyes at the level of the horizon, and we'll do some pumping squats to help turn up the temperature. Exhale, push your hips back. The butt goes back the most. Keep your body weight in the front part of your feet still. Inhale, push your hands down back to the original position. Again, exhale, hips back, hands forward, and then inhale, come back up. Pump along with it. You may get a little bit warm, that's okay. You can think about it like you're pushing your hands on the ledge of a pool to push yourself out. Do not completely lock out the legs when you come up, because then you'll lose your balance. And we're working on balance. Keep a bend always. Inhale up and exhale down. One more, inhale up. And then find some stillness in the center. Float the arms back up to horizon. I'm going to face you so you can see this a little bit more. I've still got a bendy bounce in the legs, and I'm going to do some rib isolation. So start to slide the ribs from left to right. Try to keep your hips in your head where they are. Hips, head, shoulders, arms. Stay in place. Just the ribs. I know. It's different, but it's cool. All right, now add a little more movement. So the ribs go one way, the hands, the hip, and the head go the other. It's called a seaweed sway. Keep your chin up. It's all part of it. It'll come together. Good. Keep the arms at the horizon. I'll turn again. Sit and step your feet wide. Sit and step your feet wide. See how I did that? I sat first to center the gravity. Place the hands in horseshoe holds on the tops of the knees. So I'm sitting deeply with wide leg. My feet are still parallel with each other. And I'm going to come to the front parts of my feet. Good. Breathe a bigness into the back ribs area. Good. And then hover your left heel. Imagine that you're pulling it back energetically. You can even feel the back of your leg. That's the posterior chain. We want to activate that. Swivel your heel outward, but keep all your toes on the ground. That'll do it. As you do that, push your hip outward as well. All right, swivel it back in. Keep your toes down. Swivel it out. Push your hip out wide. One more time, swivel. And then bring it back down. Recenter in the middle. Breathe fullness into the back body. Find a lightness. Other side. Hover your right heel. Swivel it outward. And push your right hip outward at the same time. Swivel it back. Do it 2 more times. It's hard. It doesn't look like it, but it is. Back of the leg is on. Good. Float your hands back to horizon. Sit. Step together. Sit. Step together. We're not losing those bends. Good. Bring your hands to a globe position where you touch your fingertips and your thumb. And we'll just center here for a moment. You can close your eyes to test your balance a little bit more, but keep yourself in a bouncy, bendy position. Slow your breath and slow your heartbeat. Feel the lightness of your rib cage and your head. Reach your arms forward to the horizon again. This time pretend like you're holding a big steering wheel of a bus. We're going to drive the big bus. First we'll drive it to the right. And then let your left ribs arc up. Tilt your head to the right as well. Keep your hips back. Keep your knees bendy. And then steer the bus to the left. Tilt the head. Let the right rib ribs rise from underneath your armpit. That area goes up. Maybe you've never stretched this way before. Head back. Good. Come back center. Bend your elbows and bring them towards your body, but not touching, as if you're holding a tray of food. Feel the heaviness of this imaginary tray. Take a big breath in. Let your tray and your rib cage lift, but stay rooted, toes down. Sweep your fingertips to the sides of your head, just above your ears. This is called Ecstasy arms. Elbows are forward towards the nose. And then we're going to stretch the side ribs again. Keep your belly long, knees bent, head back, and arc crescent to the right. Lift the left ribs. Get a few pulses in here. Stretch it open. This will help you walk. And then exhale, come back center. And then we'll crescent to the other way. And then exhale, come back up. There we go. We brought a lightness and a fullness to the whole rib cage, and you may feel an urge to start dancing or moving around in your feet. Well, wait. First, we're going to practice walking. You can do some dancing later on. So, to walk, I'm going to step off of my mat so I can get my feet on the floor, get a really tactile sensation with my toe prints on the floor. This is not going to be easy. Bring your hands back to that service arm so you're holding a tray. And we're going to keep all 10 toes down. Commit yourself. All 10 toes down. The lower half of the body stays rooted. The upper half lifts up. Keep your eyes up, head up, and then slide forward on the balls of your feet. The toes stay down. Keep your ankles flexed. What that means is don't point it. That's pointing. You gotta stay low to do that. We're retraining the brain, retraining the body. There you go. It's like balancing. Yeah. When you learn how to do this really good, you will walk with so much grace and ease. It will be medicine for your joints. Go backwards now. Rejuvenating lightness in you. Okay, we're going to take things up a notch. Bring your hands to genie arms, so opposite hand to opposite elbow, and you can feel yourself lifting even more with that arm articulation. Okay, this time we're going to slide on the balls of our feet again. Toes are going to stay down just as before, but we're going to hover our heels. If this is hard for you, go back to the one that we just did. So hovering our heels the whole time, sliding forward, keeping ankles flexed. Wow, it's harder. Believe it or not, I'm sweating. This is hard work. The retraining of the mind and the body might make you shake a little bit. That's okay. You got it. We'll go backwards. Backwards is a little bit easier, believe it or not. Keep the ankles flexed. All 10 toes down. Heels are hovering. Hovering. Okay. The third exercise, bring your arms to a chin-up bar position like you're holding on it to a chin-up bar. We're actually going to take a step this time. Try to pick up your foot from the top part of your foot first instead of the heel. That's what we usually do, but not today. Try to place your foot on the floor with the paw of your foot first instead of the heel. The heel is what we usually do, but we're doing it opposite today. And as you progress forward, you can do this in your everyday walking. Keep your ankles flexed. Chin up our arms. Find a lightness, a helium quality to the rib cage, and we'll step slowly. So taking small steps helps when we begin. Yeah, and then you can just feel the earth with your toes. in the mind. And go backwards. Keeping the ankles flexed. It's okay if you wobble. I just wobbled a little bit. Can't learn to walk overnight. There you go. Very well done. I recommend practicing these movements on a daily basis, especially if you found that you're having trouble with balance or you're having joint and hip problems. Walking is something that you do every single day. And if you're not conscious of how you're doing it, it could be really taking its toll on your body. If you like this video, please hit like or hearts, or leave a comment. And if you know you need help with your balance, or you know somebody else who needs help, please feel free to send me